Welcome back to FoxLingo. We are super excited you're hanging out with us today for another deep dive.
Yeah, we've got a really fun topic lined up for you today.
We really do, because, today we're tackling a massive question. It's one that and honestly, pretty much everyone trying to learn a language asks at some point.
Oh, totally. It's the big one.
Right. The big question is there actually such a thing as the best way to learn English? Or, are we all just chasing some magic spell that absolutely does not exist?
It's a question we just have to tackle, honestly, because the frustration out there as well, it's incredibly real.
Oh, yeah. So real.
And I just want to say right away to you, listening right now, it is completely logical to wonder if there's some secret trick or, a hidden path.
Especially when you feel like you've been trying forever.
Exactly. You put in all this time, you try so hard, and yet it still feels like you're just walking through thick mud.
Ugh, the mud feeling is the worst.
Right. And wanting a clear, simple path, that isn't laziness, it's just human nature when you feel totally stuck.
It really is. So our whole mission today is to basically tear down this old, heavy idea of English as some boring school subject.
Yes, please. Let's get rid of that.
We want to figure out how to make it a living, breathing part of your daily life. Because before we can even talk about the physical act of opening your mouth to speak, we have to look at this crazy phenomenon.
Which one?
The freezing up. I see this all the time. People spend literally years memorizing words, watching all these educational videos, but the very second they have to speak to a real human being, maybe at a coffee shop or in a meeting, they just freeze.
Total OD in the headlights.
Exactly. Their mouths just won't open. Why does the brain completely shut down when we need it the most?
Well, it shuts down because of how we've trained it. We treat the language like it's a collection of facts to just gather and store in boxes.
Like history dates or something.
Right, or math formulas. But language isn't information. It's a physical and cognitive skill. So when you try to recall a fact during a real-time conversation, you experience this massive cognitive overload.
So the brain just short circuits.
Basically, yeah. Your brain goes into a mild fight or flight response.
Wait, really? A fight or flight response? Over, ordering a cup of coffee?
Yes. Because your brain perceives social embarrassment as an actual threat.
Oh, wow. I never thought about it like that.
It's true. You're trying to calculate the perfect sentence structure while also trying to understand what the other person is saying to you. It's just way too much processing power for the brain to handle all at once, so it just freezes.
Okay, that makes total sense of the panic.
Yeah.
But so how do we stop treating it like a math test?
By completely changing how you look at the language itself.
Sure.
Think about what happens when you buy a brand new mobile phone.
Oh, I love getting a new phone.
Right. You take it out of the box. Now, do you sit down at your kitchen table, open up a thick, heavy technical manual, and read about how the internal wires connect before you even turn the screen on?
Oh, no way. The manual goes straight into the trash. Or, well, it lives in the bottom of a drawer until the end of time.
Exactly. You just pick the phone up, you turn it on, you tinker with it.
You swipe left, swipe right.
Yeah, you accidentally open the camera, you press random things just to see what happens. You figure out the tool by holding it in your hands and actually using it.
Okay, I see where you're going.
English is exactly the same thing. It is a tool to be picked up and played with. It's not a test you have to pass.
I hear you, but let's be realistic for a second here. Playing with a phone is super easy because it's already in my native language.
Fair point.
How do I start playing with English on just a random Tuesday morning when my brain still feels like the language is, some alien code?
You start by lowering the threat level for your brain.
Lowering the threat level?
How? You do this through tiny, almost invisible doses of exposure every single morning. You simply change your phone's language setting to English.
Oh, just the settings.
Yeah. And you follow a couple of social media accounts that post stuff you already like. Maybe cooking or travel, but just in English.
Okay, that's pretty easy.
And when you're making your morning tea, just look around the kitchen and name the simple everyday objects in your head. Tell yourself, cup, window, water.
Wait, just single words. Doesn't that contradict the whole language isn't a math formula thing?
Ah, that's a really great distinction to make. The goal of this morning routine isn't fluency. It's not even about actually remembering the words.
Then what is it doing?
It's pure familiarization. If you try to understand every single word right away, you'll burn out by noon.
Oh, absolutely.
The true goal here is simply to help your brain stop hearing a foreign sound and start hearing a familiar sound.
So it stops feeling like a threat.
Exactly. When your phone's menu is in English, your brain stops seeing the words as strange. It starts saying, oh, hey, I recognize that pattern. That isn't scary anymore. You're just calming the brain down.
Calming the brain down. I really like that. But here is where we hit a massive wall.
Let's hear it.
Once the language starts feeling a little more familiar and the panic goes away a bit, you still have to actually remember the words you're hearing. And I'll be honest, the traditional ways of doing that feel like actual torture.
You mean like writing lists?
Yes. Sitting at a desk, writing the word apple 20 times in a row on a blank piece of paper. It feels like such hard work, and worse, the word just vanishes from my memory the very next day.
Poof.
Gone.
Literally. It's like my brain actively deleted it while I was sleeping.
Well, the funny thing is, your brain did actively delete it, and it did it for a very logical reason.
Wait, really? Just to spite me?
No, to save energy. The human brain consumes a massive amount of energy. So to conserve that energy, it ruthlessly deletes information that it considers useless noise.
An apple on a blank page is useless noise.
Exactly. Isolated information. Just a single word floating in an empty void without any context is the very definition of useless noise to your brain.
Wow.
The brain needs a sticky web to catch a new concept. It hates isolated information. A sticky web. Okay, so how do we build that sticky web so the brain doesn't just dump the word into the trash overnight?
You have to give the brain a scene or an action. Instead of trying to memorize the word apple all by itself, you learn it wrapped inside a real living sentence.
Like what?
Like, I eat an apple every morning. By doing this, you learn the word along with how it's actually used in daily life.
I see. So the sentence acts like the glue.
Yes. Sentences from your actual daily life are so much stronger than abstract lists. Now, the brain isn't just storing a random sound, it's connecting it to your morning routine.
Okay, so if building this context is how we actually remember words, why do people completely abandon this the second they try to speak?
Ah, yes, the dreaded speaking phase.
Right. They go from natural learning straight back to rigid perfectionism, which naturally leads to the scariest part for most learners, which is actually opening your mouth out loud.
Where all the confidence evaporates in a second.
Completely evaporates. Because so many people have this deeply ingrained idea that they absolutely must form perfect, flawless sentences.
And follow all the strict rules.
Yeah, they think, if I can't say it perfectly, I'm going to look foolish, so I just won't say anything at all. But, I mean, is waiting for perfection actually helping them?
Not at all. It is literally freezing them in place. We really have to calmly dismantle this fear right now.
Let's do it.
Think about how every single one of us learned our native language. When you were a toddler, did you wait until you had a perfect, sophisticated vocabulary before you asked for juice?
Oh, obviously not.
Ah.
I probably just pointed at a cup and yelled until someone handed it to me.
Exactly. You sounded silly, you made constant mistakes, you said things completely backwards.
And I survived.
You did, because you were corrected and you tried again. That is the actual mechanism of learning. Mistakes are not a sign of failure.
That's a huge point.
Let me emphasize that to you listening right now. Mistakes are not a failure. They are the actual learning process taking place. You simply cannot learn to walk without falling, and you cannot learn to speak without saying things incorrectly.
That sounds really great in theory. You know, embrace your mistakes.
Yeah.
But wait, let's push back on that for a second.
Okay, push back.
If I'm sitting in a professional environment, maybe on a video call, I can't just point and yell like a toddler.
True.
I'm going to look completely incompetent. How does a learner navigate that very real fear of looking foolish in public?
That is a highly valid fear. The workplace is definitely not a playground, but the solution isn't to stay silent and wait for perfection.
So what is it?
The solution is to ignore the pressure to construct long, complex sentences and start with the absolute basics. You arm yourself with functional, foundational phrases.
Give me an example. What does a foundational phrase look like?
Tiny, simple things like, I like this, or I don't understand, or even, can you repeat that?
Just really short safety net sentences.
Yes. Memorizing those simple phrases forms the true foundation of real communication. It gives you control over the pace of the conversation. Saying, can you repeat that, makes you look engaged, whereas staying silent just makes you look disconnected.
That makes total sense. You're using the language to manage the interaction.
Exactly.
Now, since communication obviously goes both ways, speaking naturally requires us to actually tune our ears and hear what the other person is saying.
We have to talk about listening.
Yes. Because everyone always says, just surround yourself with English. But I always wonder, is it really enough to simply have English playing in the background while I'm doing chores? Like, will my brain just absorb it?
No, it won't. I mean, background noise is fine for that very early stage of just getting used to the sounds.
Right, the familiarization we talked about.
Exactly. But true listening, the kind that actually builds your skills, that requires active attention.
But active listening sounds exhausting. How do we do that without getting a headache?
You keep the content short, a short podcast, an everyday conversation video, simple stories, content with subtitles.
Okay, short bursts.
And here's the real secret. Your goal isn't to understand every single word.
Wait, if I'm actively listening, shouldn't understanding the words be the whole point?
No, because that's impossible at first. If you focus on individual pieces, you'll miss the flow. Native speakers don't speak in individual separate words. They speak in sound chunks.
Sound chunks? Like, what do you mean by that?
Think about how words flow together. Native speakers don't say, "What are you doing?" They say, "What you doing?"
Oh, wow. Yeah, what you doing? It really is just one big sound.
Exactly. The rhythm, the emphasis, how words crash into each other. When you do active listening, your goal is to train your ear to hear those whole blocks instead of separate pieces.
It takes so much pressure off. I'm just listening to the melody.
Yes. And there is a really powerful way to accelerate this process.
Let me guess. It involves a pen.
It does. Writing naturally accelerates this because it lets your brain take control of the language. When you listen, you're a passenger. When you write, you are driving.
But honestly, the idea of writing an essay every day sounds awful. Who has the time?
Oh, please do not write an essay. That's going right back to the boring school subject mindset.
Okay, good. So what do I write?
You keep a dead simple daily log. You write things like, "Today I woke up late," or "I drank coffee," or "I studied for 1 hour."
That's it. Just super basic sentences.
That's it. It's not about writing a novel. Even if your sentences are flawed, writing them physically trains the habit of translating your thoughts into English. You're building the pathways.
So we're doing all this daily listening. We're writing these tiny daily logs. Doing all this sounds great. But how do we actually keep going on the days we just feel totally exhausted?
The motivation problem.
Yeah. People always say, oh, I'll study when I'm highly motivated. But isn't language learning more like a long marathon rather than a quick sprint?
It is absolutely a marathon. And that's exactly why consistency crushes motivation every single time.
Consistency crushes motivation. I love that.
It really does. Motivation is just a feeling, and feelings fade. Spending just 20 minutes a day is far more powerful than waiting to feel motivated and studying for 5 hours once a week.
20 minutes a day.
Yes, the brain absolutely craves repetition.
But how do we make sure those 20 minutes don't feel like a chore? If I have to force myself, I'll definitely quit.
To make it sustainable, you have to tie it to what you already love.
Oh, follow your interests.
Exactly. If you're a gamer, you should watch English gaming videos. If you love tech, follow tech channels.
That makes sense. What if I love music?
Music fans should read lyrics. Movie buffs should just turn on the English subtitles for their favorite films. When you tie the language to your existing hobbies, it stops feeling like work.
You're just enjoying your hobby, and the English comes along for the ride. That's brilliant. Now, before we wrap up, we have to talk about one more thing. The biggest trap of all.
I think I know what you're going to say.
The translation addiction.
Oh, yes. That is a massive trap.
It really is. It's when you are constantly trying to translate from your native language, like Turkish or whatever it is, into English in your head before you speak.
Completely kills your speaking speed.
Totally. You feel like you're always 5 steps behind in every conversation. So how do we overcome this addiction?
Well, you have to train your mind to think directly in English. You have to stop the brain from building the sentence in your native language first.
But how? My internal voice is entirely in my native language. How do I just switch it off?
By using your external voice, you tell yourself to describe the room you are sitting in or how you are feeling out loud to yourself.
So I just walk around talking to myself?
Yes, say out loud, "The walls are white, I feel tired today, the coffee is hot." When you bypass your internal monologue and connect the English word directly to the physical object in front of you, you break that translation habit.
Wow. You literally train your brain to stop taking the detour.
Exactly.
That is incredible. Well, we have covered so much ground today. We've talked about lowering the threat level, building context, using safety net phrases, listening to chunks, and dropping the translation addiction.
It's been a really fun chat.
Let's gently wrap up the main idea here. What does this all mean for our listener?
It simply means that the best way to learn English isn't a single magic formula.
No magic spell.
No magic spell. It is simply mixing small, regular doses of listening, reading, writing, and speaking into your daily life. You aim to be understood, not to be a stranger to the language, and most importantly, you embrace every single mistake.
Because mistakes mean you're actually doing it.
Exactly.
I love that. Well, before we go, I want to leave you, the listener, with a fun, sort of lingering thought to ponder on your own today.
Ooh, what is it?
Think about this. When you finally do stop translating in your head and you actually start thinking directly in English, do you think your personality might actually change a little bit in this new language?
Oh, wow. That is a fascinating question.
Right. Do you become a slightly different version of yourself? It is definitely something cool to explore on your own.
I love that thought.
Thank you so much for hanging out with us today. We encourage you to keep making those wonderful mistakes. And if you had fun today, please subscribe to FoxLingo for more fun, relaxed language chats, just like this one.
Keep up the great work, everyone.
See you next time on The Deep Dive.